is here, and I'm going to introduce my group. We're going to talk about exercising more.
I'm Tyler.
I'm Andrew.
Corey. I'm Connor.
Okay, one of the things that we want to talk about is why we have to exercise more. One of the things is obesity in America. The United States is by far one of the countries with the largest number of obese people in America. 35% of adult Americans are obese. It's not even counting kids. Due to genetics or unhealthy eating. It can be a lot of times parents, they get involved with work, long hours of work, and they end up just letting their kids eat whatever they want, and that's one of the causes of obesity. Also, they don't make them do some extracurricular activities like exercising. Some TV shows, they have 60 minutes, like in the NFL Network, where the kids should exercise for 60 minutes a day to keep that healthy diet on them. Doctors are trying to understand the cause of obesity. Unfortunately, sometimes it's genetics, but most of it has to do with exercising and healthy eating.
So what can exercise do for you over the short period of time, short term? One of the most important things it can do, it will reduce stress for you. It's the best way to blow off steam after a hard day of work, or you have a big test in school or anything like that. I know we live lives today that are busy and there's a lot of things going on, but it's a great way to blow off stress. Exercising releases chemicals that moderate the brain's response to stress. So you can go to the gym or something, and it's almost like a mini vacation. It's a chance to get away. You can just really clear your head. I know for myself, I go to the gym, and the moment I walk in the doors, it's the only thing on my mind. All my other problems are gone till I leave. So it's a great way to clear your head. And it can be fun, something you can challenge yourself to do better too. Also, millions of Americans suffer from clinical depression each year, and exercise is a great way to reduce depression. It's shown great promise in alleviating the symptoms of depression. This goes back to clearing your mind, dropping all other problems. Is it still going? Yeah. So yeah, just forget about all your other problems when you're exercising, and it really helps. Studies have shown that running, going for a jog, is just as effective as psychotherapy and relieving depression. Another thing that it helps is your self-perception. Almost immediately when you start to exercise, you see and think of yourself as a more confident person. You feel better and you look better. It just makes you feel better about yourself. It increases your energy and drive as well. Getting into a routine helps you stay on track and get more done. If you keep getting into a routine, you build stamina the more you do it. Newton's law of motion describes it can be related to our body because the body at rest tends to stay in rest, but the body in motion tends to stay in motion as well. Boost brain power. Studies have shown that cardiovascular exercise can create new brain cells. Tough workout can increase levels of brain-derived protein known as BDNF. This is known to help with decision-making, higher thinking, and also learning.
I'm going to talk to you a little bit about obesity. So approximately 22% of the U.S. population meets a fit. Approximately only 22% of the U.S. adult population meets the minimum physical activity requirement, which is 30 minutes of exercise 5 or more days a week. Subsequently, 1/3 of the U.S. population is obese. The parameters to determine if you're obese is if your body weight exceeds 20% of a normal weight of a person your height and your size, or the body mass index is 30 plus, which is calculated as a ratio of height to weight. It's not always right in the case that someone that is obese has a body fat percentage of 30 to 40%, as to someone that may be a bodybuilder that weighs the same weight that has a fat percentage of 5 to 10%. So now I'm going to talk to you a little bit about disease. Type 2 diabetes, also known as onset diabetes, can happen at any age where the pancreas does not produce enough insulin, or the cells that produce the insulin are not working properly. So now, losing 5 to 7% body fat can significantly increase the insulin production, and sometimes can even cure the type 2 diabetes itself. Cardiovascular disease is also another disease that comes from obesity. Physical inactivity contributes to cardiovascular at levels of comparable to cigarettes. Premature death is another thing that a lot of people think about that are overweight. World Health Organizations estimate that 3.2 million people worldwide die of complications due to lack of physical inactivity. So a little bit about healthcare. According to the Journal of Health Economics, about 20.6 or $190 billion of total healthcare expenses are obesity related. As far as worker productivity is affected, inactive or obese men take 5.9 and obese women take 9.4 more sick days, which, looking at the big picture, is $6.4 billion per year in absenteeism cost. Now I'm going to pass it on to Corey. He's going to tell you about
some of the mental advantages to exercising more. There's a direct correlation between exercising and your mood. Most people would say that within about 5 minutes of moderate to severe exercise, you feel a general mood change, your body starts to release endorphins, and general happiness and euphoria can come over you. In some studies, it's been shown that antidepressants and exercise have generally the same results in people. Not for all people, but for the majority. When you exercise, your self-confidence improves. As you start to look better, you start to feel better about yourself, and you just naturally become more self-confident, you know what you're doing. Exercise is also an important tool in treating anxiety. There's studies have proved that when you suffer from anxiety, you start sweating, your heart races, you make it dizzy. People with heightened sensitivity to anxiety usually respond to that with fear, and they sometimes have panic attacks. But according to a study that was done, people, after they took about 60 volunteers, and after just 2 weeks of regular exercise, they found that there was significant improvement in anxiety sensitivity, and people learned to, or their bodies learned to naturally react differently. Instead of panicking, they would calm themselves, or they would just last longer in what they were doing. You're teaching your body to associate the symptoms with safety instead of danger, considering an anxiety attack and exercise, you have a lot of the same symptoms with increased heart rate, sweating. off to Colin.
Alright, I'm going to be talking to you guys about ways to exercise and goals to have for yourself. There are a few ways to get exercise. You can go to the gym, or you could go. You can just stay at home. If you stay at home, there's exercise workout videos you can do, yoga, etc. If you go to the gym, it's always good to start out slow and progress. If you're just starting going to the gym, no matter where you go, it's important to stretch before you start to exercise to avoid injuries. When you're at a gym, you can also join a fitness class. Working at the same pace with other people will make you more comfortable in your journey to lose weight. It'll help you make a more even linear progression towards your goal. And it's also important to set a goal for yourself. A good goal is to start losing, just imagine losing 1 pound a week and just sort of go from there. But if you don't reach your goal within the time frame that you desire, don't give up on yourself and don't beat yourself up over it. Just challenge yourself again. And the second time you do it, you'll probably reach your goal.
We're at 11 minutes. The video is 2.5, so we're right in the range.
Yeah.